All right, what's up, everybody? This is it. We are on season 1, episode 24, the final episode of Steins Gate, the main show. Yeah, where do I even begin, guys? It's been such an absolutely amazing journey. I don't know if I should kind of treat this intro now, therefore, too, as like a conclusion and me reflecting on the whole journey, because I know that it's not going to be entirely done yet, of course. I mean, I will be watching Steins Gate Zero. I will be checking out all the other Steins Gate content that is still there. You know, there's like a movie and there's a couple of, yeah, again, alternative episodes, I guess, and stuff, right? So I feel like I'm gonna check all of it out eventually. I know some stuff is non-canon, so that's what I'm a little bit hesitant about. But people told me like, nah, you should probably still check it out. It's very fun. But yeah, like I don't know. It always gets a little weird for me, where like I want everything that I watch to be canon or something, right? Like if it's not, then it's just gonna fuck up my perception of the show or something. But I don't know if that will be the case with the movie and some of the other. I think there's one more thing that I can watch that is supposedly non-canon, but 23B, I think, won't be, and then Steins Gate Zero, of course, won't be. That will all be part of this universe still, so it's not quite the end yet, right? I do want to stress that out very well, and therefore I probably don't have to do too much reflecting in this intro, but I just can't stress out enough how this has been easily one of my favorite journeys over on the channel. Yeah, I just loved it from start to finish. People prepared me early on that like, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into, right? I knew that it was going to be like sci-fi, that's what people told me, and when I hear sci-fi, I don't necessarily get excited, I'll tell you that, but I don't know, I mean, people just should have told me this is a puzzle. Because as soon as you tell me that, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. And so I started Steins Gate and I immediately realized that I still feel like the first episode couldn't have been a better introduction for me to the show, because I was immediately on board. And it's what allowed me, I think, to take in the next couple episodes a little bit more calmly and like being okay with the setting up that was done, right? But at the same time, dude, I was into it from the start too. Like, the banter early on between Okarin and Max Sakurasu was great, right? Daru being in the mix, of course, as well. Mayuri's super sweet personality, who could not absolutely love it? So there was never a point in this show where I was like not absolutely enjoying myself watching this show. You know what I mean? And so I can only give it credit for that. And then when shit hits the fan, starting from episode 12, and you start getting all those answers and you start realizing the full scope of this experience, this journey, it only makes you appreciate those early moments more, right? Because that's suddenly when all of it matters. That's when all of it, you know, when you see Mayuri die there for the first time in episode 12, it fucking hits you, right? And it's like, oh my god, I've come to love this character so much, and that counts for the entire group. Yeah, this show has just done such an amazing job at like presenting you on one hand a great mystery, and, you know, like, yeah, I mean, but that mystery wouldn't have, how should I put it? That mystery wouldn't have been even more, you wouldn't have felt even more personally involved in trying to solve it if it wasn't for the fact that you knew characters were at stake that you've come to love so much over the course of that 24 episode journey only. I find it so impressive because, yeah, it only is 24 episodes. That's not a lot. That's like, for anime standards, if I think about some of the other ones that I've seen, like Attack on Titan or whatever, I mean, that was a huge journey, right? And it's like 90 to 100 episodes, I think, going to be in total. Whereas this is only 24, but I feel like the same, I've gotten the same attachment for these characters as I did with that show. And that's a massive feat. Yeah, to the point where I'm so happy that it's not necessarily the complete end of it, of the story yet. There will be more for me to check out. I really wonder how Steins Gate Zero is going to tie into everything, and I wonder if Steins Gate Zero can accomplish to make me like these characters even more, or if it's just going to be a nice additional adventure alongside that ultimately won't be making the same kind of impact. I honestly, like, that I wouldn't even mind that if that was the case, right? I'm just getting ahead of myself for a little bit and trying to set the right expectations for myself, but Steins Gate, yeah, phenomenal ride. So we're of course getting into the last episode, and this is the interesting part, is that I still am not entirely sure what we're doing here. Okarin was instructing himself from the future, telling himself that, like, okay, the way you can fix everything is that you have to deceive yourself. It got a little confusing to me because on one hand he pointed out how we can't let your memories of you and Maxikurusu go lost and stuff. But at the same time, you do have to undo certain events. For example, you have to make sure that the professor never gets those papers, and you have to tell yourself that Maxikurusu dies when she doesn't. That's, I think, so I do think we're going back in time. We are going to be using time traveling still. We're going to use that time machine another time, but I could be wrong about it, in all fairness. Because I don't see how else we could possibly achieve it. Unless, yeah, no, I really don't. I don't, because at this point in the timeline, again, like the professor already handed the papers and stuff, so there's literally no preventing it, I think. But yeah, like I said, it's interesting because I feel like I'm proud of myself for having figured out a lot of sort of stuff throughout, you know, the way, I guess, of solving things in advance before we actually got the real solutions given to us. I figured out pretty early on that most of the answers we were trying to look for could be found within the group of characters we were dealing with. And that, yeah, just, you know, a bunch of things like that, right? So I'm starting to confuse myself for a little bit with my mad scientist talk, but all these characters, their mannerisms, the inside jokes, they're still stuck in my head. I watch back old reactions of mine still as they're being posted, of course, over on YouTube and Patreon. And, you know, I just realized how greatly attached I feel to all these characters. And now I'm about to see how it all ends up. I am very much looking forward to it. I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to end on a pretty happy note. And that's what I'm looking forward to already, because that's what I want for these characters too, with how much of the impact that they've left on me. Without further ado, guys, I'm going to be getting into the last episode of Steins Gate here. But of course, if you enjoy my reactions to this show, then you can already watch the next 8 reactions, you know, to, for example, Steins Gate 0, right? Episode 23B, all of that stuff. I've started it already over on Patreon, which is going to be linked on top of the description. You can go and check it out straight over there right now. Yeah, your support is very much appreciated, and is what allows me, of course, to make these videos in the first place. And then with that being said, let's dive into episode 24 of Steins Gate. calls him dad. Okay, so yeah, we do. God, better make it count then. Yeah, we know what that looked like already. I see why she sees him as her uncle, though. How can you not be optimistic with that resolve? I love the transition into the intro. One last time. LOL. It's not the Dr. Pepper? Oh shit, something fell. That must be it. Fake blood? What, so we gotta beat her unconscious? Hey, if anybody knows Ho and Kuma, that's him. Here he goes again.
のかな。もしかしてこの子にもリーディングシュタイナーが？
いや、そんな力はない。でもどこかで覚えてるんだ。別の世界線であったことを。誰でも心のどこかで。
ねえオカリン、クリスさんのこと好き？
Are you gonna be honest with them too?
クリスティーナは俺の助手であり、大切な仲間であり、そして特別な存在だ。
そっか。
I think that's plenty telling.
に惚れているという
Oh
じ
god.
ゃあ絶対助け
He
て。
didn't specifically say it about him though. He just said, she's dear to me. Oh, sorry. Yeah, she's dear to me. And she's in love with me. Oh, God.
アマネシ、僕の娘っていうのが本当だとすると。
He still wants to see, yeah.
それは秘密にしておく。
またか。
I mean, come on, we need that answer too, right? Well, I guess we never saw another character that, you know, could have been his mom, so we'll never know. Or his wife. Shit, man, here we go again.
変えずに結果を変える。因果関係はわからない。だが、ここで俺がメタルウーパーを出してしまえば、あの封筒に金属が紛れ込む可能性は。
Right. Ah, okay. Oh, so that's how the dad was... Because it mentioned that the plane caught fire or something, right? I forget what it was.
このシリーズあまり
So he'll die or what?
マユシーは100円玉を切らしちゃっているのです。
甘ったれるなマユリ。たとえ幼馴染であっても。
Well, at least the paper will be destroyed, I guess, right? Because it was about the cargo. Yeah, okay, I get it.
人生の厳しさを教えてやろう。
ウーパだよ。
レアなのか？
レアじゃないけどね。すごく可愛いでしょ。
よし、次。まさか自分で自分を演じることになるとはな。
Pretend to be himself.
マユリの落としたウーパーをクリスが拾っていたのか。だがウーパーが金属でなくなった以上、中橋の封筒は放っておいても。
Yeah, okay, okay, yeah, exactly.
あとは中橋を追い払い、隙を見てクリスを気絶させれば。
Knock her out, yeah. Shit, so it's exactly what I speculated it would be.
血のりが固まってる。
Oh no, 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 come on, we can't introduce something like this now.
長い間血のり部分は使わずにいたから空気に触れて凝固し。
Oh my god.
何の用だ。
Okay, so maybe we'll need to use his blood. I don't know.
何かあるはずだ。
黙れ。よくも盗むなどと。
そうだ。
やめろ。
What's he thinking of?
貴様は。
聞きたいか。
Here we go. Announced it already. Yep.
おーい。今日も。何をわけのわからないことを。お前さっきのガキだ。なるほど。そうか、そういうことか。逃げて。断る。どうした。そのナイフは何のために持っている。
What does he plan on doing here then?
なんだと。
What if he does kill the dad? Would that matter?
この神に等しい力を持つ俺に恐れをなしたか。
Would Max Sakurusu hold that against him? I guess so.
さあどうした。震えているぞ。怖いのか。
どこまでこの私を愚弄し。
Maybe he plans to get himself injured? I don't know.
貴様はその程度の男なのだ。絶対に絶対にな。
Shit. Oh, shit. He did let himself get stabbed. Surely not lethal though, right?
見ろ。
落ち着け。あと少し。
I mean, it's gotta be enough blood to make it believable. Jesus Christ, this scene. Oh my god. The dad is looking fucking terrified. Wow, I'm surprised he managed to turn that on him like that. Yeah, now you gotta punch her and somehow struggle your way out the room. No, don't even do that. Is that a taser? Oh, it's all for your own good. Yeah, and now just he himself needs to get the fuck out. Then we're all good. Again, don't leave any trace though of your blood. I don't know how he wants to do that. He's gotta patch it up. Oh. Well, that's still a scream.
これは間違いなく俺が見たクリスだ。
She carried him out.
ちょっとだけ待ってくれないか。
そんなことしている場合じゃないよ。おじさん、このままじゃ。
頼む。
What he wants to see? Just confirm that it's happening?
おい、誰かいるのか。頑張れよ。これから始まるのは人生で一番
Wow.
一番大切な3週間。
Yeah.
簡単な止血しかしてないから。
What about himself, though?
すぐに病院行ってね。きついと思うけど。
Yeah.
耐えてね。行くよ。
Jesus, like that was still way too much of a close call.
シュタインズゲートは誰も知らない世界線。
We're about to find out.
私は一緒にいることはできない。だから先にお礼を言っておくね。ありがとう。また会おうね。7年後に。
See you in 7 years. To Okarin.
しょ。しょ。
Mayuri.
しょ。おかりー。あれ？
Oh, in the hospital.
人類の未来にタイムマシンに関わる重大な
Yeah, too fucking bad for you.
しまったんだ。
などと意味不明であり、ロシア政府は亡命を受け入れない方針。
旅客、オカリンが来たって。入れ違いになっちゃった。あ、その時。
ラボメンナンバー006の証だ。
僕、いつラボメンに？
その記憶はあるいは前世まで遡るかもしれん。
Oh, he still made them laugh, members.
なんだろうこの文字。今日も？さっきまで。
That was Suza's badge.
やっぱり？フェリスちゃん、何かも。
Yeah, she became a... Well, she never was a lab member, was she? I'm not sure anymore. No, she was.
007のピンバッジだ。
Oh, they're all getting those
さっ
badges.
きまでここにいたのによ。
マイリお姉ちゃん。てってる、なえちゃん。
ええ、今日からここでバイトする
Oh
ことになった。
shit! What?
キリュウ、萌香です。椎名真由りです。
Even Mocha gets to have a nicer fate.
岡部の野郎もあんなりナンパしやがってよ。
いつでもラボを訪れるといい。
トゥルー、おかえり。
おかえりとオカリンを
Welcome, Beckerin.
オカリ
うん。ちょっと買い物行ってくるって。
そっか。
うん。これ
Two last badges for them.
だってさ、ラボメンナンバー002と003。
オはオカリンでしょ。シーナ、橋田、漆原、フェリス。
Hmm.
M と K と A って？
さあ。
ラボメンナンバー008は7年後に現れる。
また妄想っすか？
必然だ。ダルのな。
僕の
Oh, like that. Okay, yeah, I see. Now I get the 7 years. Damn, that's when Daru will get his kid.
7年後って想像もできないよ。
でもね、ラボは変わらないと思うよ。何年経っても。
I hope not. I hope it stays like this forever.
お前は今どこにいるのだろう。俺と同じ世界を、未来がまだわからないこの世界を、どこかで一緒に見ているのだから。
They're gonna see us still. Oh, they just crossed paths.
やっと会えた。あなたを探していたんです。助けてくれた。お礼を言いたくて。
She knows in an instant. I love it.
なぜ彼女がここにいる？何？俺が守れだと？やれやれ、勝手なことを言ってくれる。また会えたな、クリスティーナ。
いや、だから私はクリスティーナでも女子でもないと。あれ？
Wow. A fixed roof. Look at that.
ようこそ。
Well, it was never broken in the first place, that's why.
マキセ・クリス。いや、クリスティーナ。未来のことは誰にもわからない。だからこそ、この再会が意味するように、無限の可能性があるんだ。これがシュタインズゲートの選択だよ。
Fantastic, man. Ah, that was it. Perfect. That's all that I can say. Full circle, exactly the way that I hoped it would end. And I love how every character got their moment to shine one last time, and everybody technically ended with a happy ending. I like how Suzuha also, she mentions, oh you'll see me in 7 years, and it's like, at first I wasn't catching on to it, I guess, as per usual, and then I realized, like, oh wait, that's when she's going to be born then, I guess, right? That's what they mean. So I love it. Also that meeting that Maxi Kurusu still has there with Okurin as well, great. Sort of just, it's funny, I mean, I was reminded actually watching it, the first anime movie that I watched on this channel was Your Name, and it was a very similar ending actually, that movie had compared to the way we saw this play out, where they crossed paths and they could immediately tell, and I just really enjoyed that. Yeah, even, like seeing how Mocha, I guess, gets a nice little fate here too, a better fate, let's put it like that. I like how Okurin even sacrifices himself there, of course, too. Well, I say sacrifice, not in the way that he dies, of course, but he gave it everything, and he was willing to let himself be stabbed there in a moment, and it was a way for the dad to then flee. Yeah, so he didn't even have to kill the dad. That's what I was thinking at first. Like, wait, are we just gonna have to stab the dad and, use his blood and then maybe dispose of his body somewhere else or something? But I don't think Mike Sakurusu would very much appreciate us killing her dad in the end still, right? But no, Okurin decided to give his own blood for it, which was a much better solution therefore too. So again, everything came full circle and everything was perfect. I couldn't have wished for something better than this. I don't even know necessarily what else I could say about it. I like just how he twisted that fate, how he even, in the beginning there, the Oopa, he gets out of the machine himself so that they don't, and so they catch a different Oopa. So that, yeah, the cargo ends up burning, and all the papers on the time machine are destroyed. So again, guys, everything was perfect. Everything played out exactly the way I had wanted it to. I'm happy with that, because that's exactly what I wanted from this show. And I think too many times nowadays do you get shows that get you to warm up to characters, I guess, and get you to make you, how do I say this? I mean, they have this very natural writing, but then in the end, they just subvert all expectations to make you go like, oh shit, I hadn't seen that coming, but it doesn't necessarily always feel deserved therefore either, right? And I feel like this ending was what was deserved for it. And we already got all the beautiful tragedy and stuff in some of the prior episodes that made it clear how much of an impact that the storyline and these characters had made on me emotionally, but we still get to leave it with a happy, like on a happy note. And therefore, I'll always be remembering this show so amazingly well, right? And that's all that I could wish. All that I could wish from it. So I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of at a loss of words, and I'm gonna take a lot of time here. Sort of letting it all sink in, on me, and reflecting on this show with very positive memories in the future, no doubt. I, of course, will be starting with Steins Gate 0. I will be watching that episode 23B and probably still the other Steins Gate content afterwards. But for now, I myself will be taking a bit of a break. You all don't have to worry about any of that, though, because I've recorded quite a bit of episodes ahead here, so I can afford to do that. But for you, the schedule will be continuing as per usual, so don't worry about that. Yeah, and I love that. So guys, without further ado, I hope you enjoyed my reaction to the final episode of Steins Gate. Of course, you can already watch those next 8 reactions straight away over my Patreon, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, we'll have started with Steins Gate 0. So yeah, go and check all of that out. Your support is very much appreciated, and is what allows me to make these videos in the first place. And then with that being said, I want to thank you all a lot for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.